Hey everyone, today I'm creating some cards using some products from Spellbinders. I'm using the Flea Market Finds collection papers. This one here is called Florals 2, and then the other one is called Petite Patterns, and they have a lot of colours that really do match well together. So as I'm looking through these, I'm trying to figure out, are there a few patterns that I can partner up together that will look like a bit of a matching set so that I can create some cards that I can bundle into some card kits later, or potentially use them individually or donate them. I'm really not sure at this stage what I'm going to do with the cards themselves, but I'm just trying to find some that would look nice together. Now, underneath those pattern papers, you can see some sort of squashed hexagons. These are called the Essential Hexi-Gems dies. There are 14 different ones, and I am using 3 from the middle. It is layer 6, 7, and 8. I will put a link below to all of these products, including all of the foiling plates that I have used for my sentiment. So anything that you see, if it's still available, will be linked below in the description. The layout that I'm using today relies on a standard A2 white card base and then a layer that is elevated based on using some craft foam. I had a bunch of these craft foam panels in my stash and I have been trying to work out what I'm going to use them for, so I decided I would use them for today's project. Now, this cutting down of the rectangles is a little bit interesting. I used a rectangle die to basically cut out a space in the bottom right hand corner of the card front so that I can use that to put the key focus of my card today. Because I didn't want to have to line up the metal die over and over perfectly, what I have done is I've put it roughly in the right spot on a card front size panel, so 5.5 by 4.25. And now I'm cutting it down so that I've got a little bit of a border around it, which means it's going to be cut down to 5.25 by 4. And this means that if I was a little bit wonky with when I did my rectangle, I can actually fix that when I'm trimming down the card front at the moment. And I'm using the clear plastic piece of my trimmer to line up with the edge of the rectangle. And then as I rotate it around, it becomes really, really easy to make sure that's straight. Now, I hope that made sense. If it didn't, I apologize. When I cut down the rectangle from the white card front, I did exactly the same thing with the foam rectangles that I had. Now, what that meant was they were the exact same size as the panel on the front, and that was not going to work. So I got my scissors and I trimmed them down a little bit, and then I cut through 2 of the corners, and now I'm doing a little bit of, foam surgery. So they do work really, really well, but it was not a case of being able to cut it out perfectly and then attach it to the back. Perhaps if I had used a bigger size rectangle for the foam, that would have worked. And since I do have nested rectangle dies, I probably could have thought that through a little better. But either way, I'm using up this craft foam. I have not purchased any more of it, but I want to use what I have. So here we go. I'm using those panels. You might have also noticed that I've deliberately picked colours that do match with the pieces that I'm going to attach to my cards. So if you look from the side of the card, it's going to be something that matches and complements the pattern paper. These little embellishments that I have here, or these little hexi-gems, I have basically cut them out of the pattern paper, and then I have stacked together 3 or 4 white ones. So I did 3 or 4 times the number of pattern paper ones, and then I've stacked them all together with some liquid glue. And this really feels like a chipboard piece. It's really quite thick, which is great. And it means that it can stand its own as a feature on the front of the card. Now, I did get a little bit carried away with these, and I've created loads of them. And on the side of my desk, I do have probably 50% of these still left. And so if anyone has any great ideas on what I can do with these, then please put something in the comments below. I would love to finish off using these, and I just didn't have enough, or not that I didn't have enough, I could create more that look like this, but I've created loads that look the same, and I would love another interesting project that I can use the rest for. They are such pretty patterns, and so I definitely don't want them to go to waste. Now, I have not done some hot foiling in a little while, so I probably should do some more to replenish my supplies. But I do have a bunch of hot foil sentiments in my stash, and a lot of them are blue. Now, I don't know why I did so many blue at the beginning. It is my favorite color, but it is not always that easy to match with a card design. So I'm going to make sure that next time I do a stash of foiled sentiments, I do loads in gold and silver and black, just because they're the easiest to use on lots of different projects. But I have this little stash down in the bottom corner there, and when I'm adding all of these with the liquid glue, I'm trying to work out which ones am I going to partner up with which design of pattern paper. Now, in the top right hand corner, you can see I've got one of the orange and blue style hexi-gems, and that is with You Are a Wonderful Friend sentiment. That is from one of the absolutely most favorite of mine from the hot foiling sentiment sets. I will definitely put the link to that one below because I use it all the time. I decided to sort all of the hexagons into color families. It just makes it a little bit easier when I'm sorting through this stash on the bottom right. And then I can just go through them pretty quickly, add the sentiment, and then all of the cards are going to be completed. It's funny that I have all these foiling sentiments, which are absolutely gorgeous in real life. But I think my favorite card that I created today, you'll see it in a little bit, is when I used a bright yellow hello. And that's literally just a die cut hello as opposed to one that has been foiled. I do think that maybe the ones that have the black cardstock at the back are possibly not my favorite. They still do look cool in real life, but I think the stark black without anything else to tie it back to is probably not my best choice. So I don't know, which one is your favorite out of all of these? I've tried to do a bit of a variation, and so they all do look a little bit different. And I will say that having the offset chipboard style piece in the lowered down rectangle was something that I had a lot of fun with. I have not done this in cards very often, but I think I'm starting to play around with variation in height. And one of the other videos that I am looking to edit pretty soon is using a whole bunch of scraps. And when you put them together into a bit of a collage, how do you make them look interesting by overlapping and adding a little bit of height? Now, that was one of the ones that I really enjoyed, which is just the white hello on top of the yellow hexagon. And I do think, or hexi-gem, and I do think that that one looks super cool. So I don't know, I really do want to know which one is your favorite. And if you could include it in the comments below, then I'll know for next time. If you are enjoying the video, it would be great if you could hit the like button. That is how YouTube knows to spread it to more viewers, and it really does make a difference to different content creators. At the top of my screen, you can see that I've got postage stamp edged white strips. These are also going to be featured in another video down the track. I'm not sure how just yet, but they have been sitting on my desk waiting for a project to inspire me. And they are from my Koala Smiles cards that I did a while ago using one of the Spellbinders card kits. I have put another video here that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.